Diddy settled that lawsuit fast, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. Welcome back to the Poor Black Man. Let's get right into it. Now, this lawyer posted a tweet, and the tweet reads, "I have never seen a settlement that fast in all my years of practicing law." This is a lawyer, CJ Lawrence. He said he's never seen a settlement that fast in all his years of practicing law. And so you, like me, we are wondering, why would somebody settle so fast? And I am not an attorney, but I have my suspicions. And I believe P. Diddy settled with the quickness because this was going to be a PR nightmare. In fact, it is a PR nightmare. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that because that lawsuit was very specific. I read it all. It had names. It had dates. It has locations, receipts. If you haven't read it, go check it out. She's very specific. She put government names in there. She put business establishments in there. She gave the dates. And so had that lawsuit went forward and the discovery process began, it may have gotten real ugly, right? So I'm thinking P. Diddy is like Big Red. Based on the allegations, I'm feeling like P. Diddy is Big Red from the Five Heartbeats. Y'all remember Big Red from the Five Heartbeats, who was dangling old boy out the window, and then Eleanor, he was flirting with Eleanor, and then when the manager got killed, Big Red, was supposed to be involved with that murder. P. Diddy, I thought Suge Knight was the villain. I thought Suge Knight was the villain, but according to the allegations, P. Diddy is a cold piece of work. Let's get into it. All right, so we settled really fast, and she has a lot of specifics in that lawsuit. And this was a civil lawsuit. The whole purpose of a lawsuit is to make money, to be compensated. My name is the Poor Black Man, and we talk about money and scammers and things like that, and how you should and shouldn't spend your money. And so, when we want to be made whole, when we want to be compensated for damages, right? Even if it's not related to property, right? Even if it isn't something physical, right? It could be verbal abuse, right? It could come from your employer, where your employer is like, "Hey, I hate you. You trash. You are the worst employee I've ever had," right? You can sue somebody for that, right? You can sue somebody for that. Verbal abuse, sue them. You can get paid, right? This is how the world works. Money and time, right? When somebody goes to prison, you losing time and freedom, right? Civil lawsuits, money. All right. Now, I got some notes here. Now let's get into it, right? Number one, we don't know what happened behind closed doors, but a couple people have confirmed some of these stories. What's his name? Kid Cudi. It is alleged that P. Diddy was involved in an explosion that happened to Kid Cudi's vehicle. A spokesperson from Kid Cudi confirmed that Kid Cudi's vehicle did in fact have some sort of explosion. That is a fact that was confirmed by Kid Cudi's spokesperson. It is also confirmed that Kid Cudi was dating Cassie at a time when Cassie and Diddy were not together. They were separated, right? So, that sounds kind of mafia to me. Blowing up cars? Is that what we doing? We blowing up cars? Yeah, that sounds kind of mafia to me. I would probably be scared if I knew somebody had the capability to pay somebody to somehow set up an explosive inside of somebody's vehicle to send a message. I would probably tread lightly. I could understand how somebody would be afraid. All right. Now, I also want to say something. This speaks to fathers, mothers raising their daughters to be independent. There is this whole discussion about how modern women are so focused on their careers, and some of these cats on the internet are calling a successful woman masculine and all that crap because they actually got educated or they actually are working to take care of themselves because they don't want to be in a situation where they're relying on a man to take care of them to the point where they can't even leave because he's in control of all her money. This is why, one of the reasons why women should always have their own. Always. If you are a father and you are not doing your best to put your daughter in a position where she can care for herself and not have to deal with a romantic partner or anybody that is being abusive. When you take care of yourself, when you save your money, it gives you the ability to pivot when you need to. If something is no longer serving you, you can go and get up out of there. But if you don't have anything, then you're at the mercy of the person that's taking care of you. I just want to point that out. Raise your children. For the young women, for the parents raising young women, I'm telling you, do not raise your child to be a servant, to be a dependent. We want them to be independent so they can survive on their own and they ain't got to put up with the BS. All right. So we're going to leave that right there. Cassie was, I believe, 19 years old when she met Diddy, and he was in his late 30s. She was a baby. 19 is a baby. Come on now, stop playing with me. All right. Number 2, Revolt TV, which is partially owned by Diddy. They have limited the comments on their Instagram profiles, right? The comments are limited, but there's one comment from their publicist. And the comment says, we love amicable resolutions. And so this is a young lady who looks like Cassie, a young, very attractive lady who is responsible for public relations for P. Diddy. And her comment is the only comment on that Instagram post, right? And it's got me thinking like, I wonder what it must be like for a woman whose job is to make a man look good in public, while another woman is alleging that this man is a monster. P. Diddy has a team of handlers. And so what I've done, on another video, we're going to talk about all these people in another video. I looked into all of these people. His chief of staff is a woman. It's just like R. Kelly. When R. Kelly was doing what he was doing, he didn't do it alone. There were security guards. There were personal assistants, right? There are all of these people that knew exactly what was going on and nobody said anything. This is the poor black man, right? We talk about money here. The reason why they didn't say anything is because they were relying on R. Kelly for money. People will turn a blind eye to wickedness if it's going to impact their ability to feed themselves. They will act like they didn't see it because they need that money. Come on now. These people are employees. If you read the lawsuit and how she talks about his security doing things to ensure that the abuse was not seen publicly, putting her up in hotels. Whenever a celebrity who is accused of doing these things is found to be guilty, there are a whole host of other people who were involved. And I'm not saying that P. Diddy is guilty, but what I am saying is that he has a staff, he's got security, he's got a lot of staff, right? So if these things are true, he is not the only one who should be answering for this conduct. I'm just saying. Nobody does this alone, all right? So they turn it off the comments, right? They don't want anybody to say anything. And the PR person is a young lady who reminds me of Cassie, right? Here's another thing. Not only have they turned off the comments, but there are a number of content creators who are friends with P. Diddy. And these content creators would normally be all over this story if it were anybody else. They would be all over this story. But because it's Diddy, they're walking on eggshells. Joe Budden edited his podcast. I think he edited his podcast, number one, because he has an ugly history of allegations. And I'm still working on that video, Surviving Joe Budden. He has a long history of allegations, some where he even admitted to sitting on the stomach of his pregnant girlfriend, that pregnant girlfriend who later lost the child, and he admitted to sitting on her stomach while they were fighting, dragging her off the bed. He admitted it. He said it. He has a long history of DV allegations, right? I don't care how much you like his podcast. So I don't think it's in his best interest to even speak on this. But he also has a professional relationship with Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, Sean Combs, right? And this is where professional courtesy comes into play. Where if somebody is friends with a person who is in the hot seat, they won't talk about it, or they'll skip around it, right? They'll dance around the topic. And so I'm sitting back watching. I'm waiting on Van Lathan to say something. Van Lathan, I'm waiting on you, player. Joe Budden ain't saying nothing. The Breakfast Club, they brought it up, but they spoke about it. They were very selective about what they said. It's crazy how these figures, these media talking heads that have significant platforms, how the energy changes depending on who the allegations are about. Let me tell you something. If this was about Kodak Black, they'd have been on his head. Lock him up, throw away the key, cancel him, you name it. Right? I have not heard anybody talking about cancel culture. I ain't heard anybody talking about cancel culture. I'm just saying this realm of professional courtesy is showing its head because these folks don't want to talk about Diddy because he's friends with them. Don't nobody want to talk about Diddy. But y'all go to them for advice and you look up to them because they have a platform, because they have money. Well, I'm the poor black man and I'm going to keep it 100. I don't work for any of these people. I don't know any of these people. I'm only here to give you the facts and the commentary, right? Fact of the matter is, these people aren't talking about it because they're friends with the folks that are on the hot seat. And that's just it. That's a fact, all right? Number one. I'm sorry. Wale, the rapper Wale, there was a story circulating. There's a content creator who says he witnessed P. Diddy and his goons. He witnessed them corner Wale, close the curtains, and do something to Wale. And this content creator says that he saw a man dangling from a balcony, being held over a balcony outside of a window. He said he didn't see the face, but those were Wale's shoes. And Wale was not supposed to be interacting or recording with Cassie, right? And so when P. Diddy and his folks left the room, they reconnected with Wale and they said he was sweating profusely. That sound like Big Red to me. That's what it sound like. These are allegations. Wale has not spoken on it. And you would think that if somebody said, hey, poor black man, we heard P. Diddy was hanging you out of a window by your feet, you would think that I would come out and say, nah, ain't no man on this planet ever hung me out no window, dangled me out. Nah, it ain't happening. Sorry, it's a rumor. You would think that he would clear that up. But Wale hasn't said anything. Nothing at all. Not a word. Not a word. Interesting. They're saying that P. Diddy had him hanging out the window by his feet. And Wale has not said a word. Interesting. All right. Let me look at my notes. What else we got here? Talking about Big Red. So what we're going to do is look at his team, right? I would like to explore P. Diddy's handlers. Who are the people who are being paid to fulfill his wishes? And I'm going to email those people. I am going to email them. And I'm going to let y'all know what they say. Because if we're going to do commentary, we're going to do commentary. But if we're going to do journalism, we're going to do it the right way. We're going to reach out to people. And if they don't respond, we'll say that we reached out and they didn't respond. And if they do respond, we'll share their responses, right? But I'm interested in this story. I'm really interested in it. And the only people that know, what happened behind closed doors are Cassie, Diddy, and their staff. So this is the Poor Black Man. Stay tuned. We're going to get into this. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Let me know what y'all think. Do you think Diddy is guilty of any of the allegations? What do you think? Innocent? Guilty? I don't know. What do y'all think? PBM, it's the Poor Black Man. I will see y'all on the next one. Peace.